Oh, good. Lois joined us.
Hi, Lois.
Now we have a quorum.
Yay.
Hi,
Hi.
my apologies. I couldn't connect from outside.
Ah,
Yep,
bummer.
that's conquered. So,
No, it was a mistake on my part.
but
No problem.
I think I have not looked at the charts, so I don't know if you want to send it around for everybody to examine.
I'll send it around. Yeah. I'll go ahead and make that little tiny addition and send it around. We'll look at it and then we can review it.
Okay, and add Mark to that, all of that, please.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
have some thoughts on that.
Yeah.
So I think it seems to me that the original idea of the Pollinator Health Advisory Committee was to focus on neonics and what they did and to constrain their use.
Mhm.
And that has been done, that their use has been constrained about as much as we can expect, I think, unless we somehow got professionals to stop using them.
Well, I
Well,
think we're educating the public far more about what it's doing constantly. Because I sat next to a very elderly man on Sunday, and he had bragged about how he had done his turf work on the lawn, and I said something about poison ivy, and he says, "Oh, I put newspaper down, and then I do the Roundup on it so it won't go into the soil." So there's incomplete understanding of, with poison ivy, I totally agree. But there's also a recipe that Natural Resources offers that's a non-poisonous, and I think, we could spend more time really providing more education about how to control weeds, how to, embrace weeds, how to teach, how to, interview your landscaper. I don't think there was any discussion at the fair with anybody about, how to talk to your landscaper to not, poison the world.
Okay, cool. Can I finish my thought?
Sure.
Okay. So we do have some purchase restrictions, and I realize that people are probably still have it on hand, and they're probably still doing strange things with newspaper and plants, and the landscapers certainly can use it, and people should probably not authorize them to do that. But I think because there has been some constraint on the use or on the ability of homeowners to buy this stuff, that I think we could change the focus somewhat and talk about poisons in general, like the backyard spraying. We could talk about how to talk with your landscaper about neonics and other poisons. And I think we could also talk about other impediments to pollinators, because poisons are certainly one of them, but it's not the only one. And we have already started talking about pollinator gardens, so we're addressing one of the issues, which is the decline in the, people planting the things that pollinators like. So we're encouraging them to not only stop poisoning them, and although we could do more in that area, but we're talking to people about providing plants that the pollinators like. But there are other issues that have to do with pollinators, and I think we could focus on those as well. So
give me an idea of what you're thinking of besides what we've already talked about.
Mainly deer. So and there is some interest in Delia has some interest now. I've been working for a couple of years with another committee who will be probably this fall launching a public education campaign. I would think it would take a couple of years, and basically talk about how biodiversity is a value, and we have a biodiversity catastrophe right now in the same way that we have a climate catastrophe. And we could get our carbon problem fixed and we'd still have a huge decline in the number of species. So it's like if you had a web and you start pulling threads out of it, you can pull a few out, but after a while it becomes pretty shredded and it doesn't work very well, and you can get collapse. So I think it's good to talk to people, or, try to inform them. So I would like to introduce the idea that we could enlarge our scope to talk about biodiversity in general as a value that is under attack, or, it's eroding, however you wanted to say it.
Mhm.
And that there are things that we need a fuller understanding of that. People don't know what they don't see in the woods. They don't see the spring ephemeral plants, and there are insects that co-evolved with them that
Mhm.
produce caterpillars, and the birds that would normally eat those caterpillars don't have the caterpillars because the plants aren't there. So the birds aren't there.
Mhm.
And those plants are often eaten by deer, or they're crowded out by exotic invasives like garlic mustard. I can point to a study that was done in Western Pennsylvania
Mhm.
where they put exclosures in place so the deer couldn't get in, and the trillium came back and it outcompeted the garlic mustard.
Nice.
So I know the Harvard Forest has done a series of exclosures, and there's some placed in other places. I know there's one near Fairhaven Bay. I've seen it, and a few others. And I know the people I could talk to who would know where they are.
Mhm.
Well,
But
the thing,
I think that would be a fruitful avenue for us to enlarge on.
yeah, Harvard is handing that over to the conservation people, at least in Lincoln. Their
Uh-huh.
exclosures are now, no, I'm sorry, it's not the exclusion. There's two studies that Harvard does. One is exclosures, and the other is the biodiversity of a large area in conservation. And they
Mhm.
do a bio study. So I don't know, I don't know, like every 10 years or something, to
Yeah.
see what the bio thing is. I think that's a great idea, Janet.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it biodiversity. I would more say ecological balance.
Yeah, you could say
I
we
think
have,
I'd get out of the diversity and more into the balance, because that's truly what is wrong. But
Yeah.
I think that's a fine idea.
Yeah.
so when I get a little bit more time, because I've been pulling a lot of garlic mustard recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been wrangling the neighbors to do it in the Interzak Hill neighborhood. We have 17 bags down here piled up,
Nice.
and more are coming. I just distributed 4 more bags today. And on Friday, anybody who wants to, I know Isabel's already doing this, but the high school seniors who are graduating have a service day. So Peter Alden and I, for the last few years, have worked with these kids to send them out garlic mustard pulling. Last year we sent 60 kids, and I think they got 56 bags of garlic mustard.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm making a list of places to
So
go.
I
And
talked to Will this morning, and they only have 60 bags total for everybody. So you might want to send him a note saying how many you want to have for your project, because he may need some of those bags for his projects.
what's his project?
Well, he has a lot of different projects, but just tell him, that you're going to need at least 60 bags, because he asked me how many you needed. And I said, I thought it was like 6, that every kid would get one. And
Yeah.
so just,
Yeah, I have, I picked up 10 more the other day, and I gave 4 out today, and I think I used 2 yesterday.
yeah, he needs to get more. So just let him know he needs to get more.
Yeah, I think they buy them and then they stamp them with NRC so that the landscapers can't just put their bags in like cowbirds,
Right. Yeah. So
cowbird eggs.
if you give him a heads up, tomorrow, that would be good.
I will send it right now.
Great.
Thank you. So if you know anybody else who wants to help, Ellen's not going to be able to do it. She's had some work done on her skin, on her face, and she can't stand the sun for now. Or the other thing is, if you know places
Oh,
where
I can ask my neighbor. Yeah, do you have a little blurb that I could send her?
no,
Should I send? Okay.
I probably sent you something the other day. Didn't
Yes,
I?
I'll send that and ask
Just
her.
forward that to her. Tell her just show up at 10 and
She doesn't
the
have a
kid-
lot of time, but I can ask her.
yeah, and especially if she knows of a spot that is hard to reach unless you know where it is, you know, like your Harrington place. Those are especially good because I can Xerox maps that Peter Alden helped put together. They have them at the NRC, and I can copy those maps and give them to the kids, and they can, you know, go off independently. But it's for garlic mustard that is not on the roadways. It's not going to show up on those maps, and that's what it'd be good if somebody else could take the kids
I'm
down.
just telling her that you need more adult supervisors.
Well, yeah, it would be nice to help lead the kids down there, or they could, or she could just hang out because I stay
She's not a
down,
hangout person.
huh?
She is not a hangout person. She's a pulling person.
Oh, okay. Well, then I would suggest she takes some kids. I know I
Don't
have.
worry, I sent it to her and you
Okay,
guys.
great. Very good. Thank you. I must have filed it because I don't see it
I
here.
got it. We're done.
Well, somewhere I have my list. Tell you, if I had 10 minutes to myself, it would be helpful.
So
Yeah,
Mark,
so
thoughts about this?
Pardon me?
there was,
With the expanding our goals
Yeah.
charter.
Yeah, I think we're done with that.
yeah, I'll get to that when I have some time. It's just not going to happen right away.
Sure, sure. So I'll draft something up. We can distribute it and we can work on it, you know, as we have time. What's Mark's last name? Refresh my memory, Isabel.
Hollerman,
What's it?
I think, let me look it up on my picture.
Okay.
Here we go. It's, oops. It's Mark Howell, HOWELL, and his email is Mark Howell with 2 L's at concordma.gov.
Oh, okay.
He's a selectman.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, Mark's the liaison from the select board.
Is he our liaison?
Pollinator.
The other picture I sent was how they're clustering us with other geez, I'm trying to flip it over.
Sure, sure.
They've put with him, they've put a bunch of other, you know, sustainable,
Yep.
you know, native things.
Good.
Who's got the ag committee? Do you remember?
I can tell you. I have to, let's see, lock my screen so I can turn it. Okay, so Karen, ag committee was not with us, which was kind of.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They weren't.
No. Ag committee was, I think, with Mary Hartman.
Okay.
She likes them. She's a big fan of the ag committee.
Yeah, they're with Mary Hartman.
Okay.
She probably didn't want to give it up.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, she's
I think it's more in the
passionate about
planning
ag committee.
Okay.
It's one of those funky things.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. That's like her favorite committee.
Nice. Well, so Then I have a quick question. For June Pollinator Month, under new business, we've got, I'll talk to Laura about, and we'll get the library all those various gardens that you mentioned, Isabel,
Well, they
listed.
have a flyer that she would give you to print.
Yeah. And okay, so we're all set up, and I think that would be really good. And I'll see if we can get that on our, it'd be good to see if we can get that on our website as well as on the Sudbury Valley's website. Do they have it on the library website?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll check it. Let's see. And then the other thing was this idea of a pollinator walk. What do you guys think of that?
What is that?
Well, it would be one of us or two getting together with a group of people who wanted to do a tour or walk, for example, through the boat landing web area to see the plants, and just talk with people that are interested in learning more about native plants for pollinators, about them. It might be something that would work, say, during Pollinator Week.
Well, I mean, I would do a 2 hour, but I don't want to spend a day or.
Oh,
You know.
same here. Yeah, an hour or two is all I think we can, it
And
also works the other way. People probably don't want to spend that much more than that
Yeah.
amount of time anyway.
mean,
Is that something that's reasonable?
I think most of the stewards, know a good bit about it and could, if they were willing to do it, I don't know. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
a steward for Harrington and I think Bob White might, I'm not sure, for boat launch. And Kurt out at Barrett's Mill Trail, he's done a lot. He's done
Okay.
a lot of places. He might even, but I don't know if he wants to be a speaker. He's not a
Right.
guy at all.
Okay. Good. That's good. We'll see if we can pull that off. I think that'd be interesting. I mean, I
I have a
know.
lot of thing to do it at Harrington
Yeah.
and planting.
Yes. The other thing we've got on our agenda is Ag Day coming up. Any thoughts on how we prepare for that?
Well, I
When
put a
is
lot
Ag Day?
into
It's
our
usually
last
the
one.
second Saturday in
First,
September.
Full thing.
September 7th.
September 7th? Okay.
I think it's the first Saturday.
First
after
Saturday,
Labor.
okay.
First Saturday after Labor Day, I think is the deal. As far
Okay.
as
Yeah.
I know, it's the 7th.
Okay. We usually have a table and
Right.
hand things out. I guess we'll just do that again.
Well, is it possible to have some focus?
Well, in the past, we've had, the focus has been pollinators, information about them.
Right.
Um,
But if we're going to move towards, like an equilibrium type of thing,
yep.
should we basically sort of maybe move some of our handouts in that direction?
Janet, do you think the deer stuff would be ready by September?
Well, the committee sort of decided they don't want to do anything for a while. Delia's got, I don't know, too much stuff to do. So we're going to start meeting again in September.
Okay.
We won't be ready then.
Okay. Just so I figured it was an ask that, but I mean, even the handouts we have, sort of more of a focus to the bigger picture than,
Okay,
I mean, that just, not a big, no about face or anything. I mean, obviously inclusive, but just
yeah,
so we stop being known a little bit more for that piece of it. The other, and I'm not sure Pollinator Week is the time because of who's around or not, but some point, I had just talked like casually with Chris Crossley about the lightning bugs,
yeah,
and that's
But
there.
July is the time that we need it dark so that they will mate. So we could make a focus on lightning bugs, and
and it also helps pollinators that work at night, like moths.
Right. So that's the darkness. Okay.
Yeah,
And they're that late. Is it July? Yes. Yeah, I remember the beach used to be in the summer when it was hot. We'd be at the beach. You see all the lightning bugs.
oh, nice.
I haven't seen them like now in a long time.
Yeah,
I
I see
do with
them
my
during the
back.
summer.
Yeah, no, I think that for them to be able to mate, they have to have the darkness.
Right.
Okay.
They have to be able to see the flashes.
Yes,
And the talk last year that Lincoln had on fireflies, which was based on Concord and Lincoln, the woman pointed out that it isn't just your outdoor lights, it's also pulling your shades because it's the light from your house.
okay.
Okay.
That's a problem. I don't know. I mean, what exactly would we, I mean, I got frustrated, I have to say, with the last presentation because I asked people to put things together and then it wasn't clear what people were actually doing. So if there's going to be a poster, somebody needs to take, ownership to do a bigger poster on the summer balance or something like that. I'm going away next week and then I come back and I've got a lot of planting to do. So I don't know that I have a lot of,
Yeah,
I don't know that right now I have a lot of wherewithal to add into the mix.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And
in
then,
the same boat. Yeah,
I mean, I'm very heavily scheduled in June, including Pollinator Week already.
yeah, yeah.
well, one of the things that we could do is offer to Fowler to do a kids workshop on echo balance. If we did a craft or a game or book readings about fireflies and things. So, but that takes some research.
Right.
Do you want to do a kid-centered thing or like a parent-child thing? Because it's really
the parent child.
Yeah,
because we're aiming a lot of this at the parents, and that at that point you can slip in a lot of stuff about
But Fowler
poison.
does a lot of these programs, like they did a lot with transportation.
Oh, did you say that again? Who?
Fowler Library.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah.
I mean,
Good.
you got to put it together to get on the newsletter for June right now. You can't, last minute say, oh, I want to do this and get any word out.
Right.
You mean the June newsletter from the library?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the month. It's
Good.
like the end of this month.
Interesting.
Sorry about my light. Let me see if I can get it.
How you doing?
Yeah, it does this flopping.
One just to double back a little bit, Janet, I think you're right about widening from neonics. In the reading I've done, there's definitely cross pollution from neonics combined with, say, glyphosate. That
Right.
Great.
glyphosate makes it worse. In other words, and on the other side is that I know in the state of New York, they've banned neonics on seeds. So you can't plant like corn with neonics on the seed.
Right.
And
Commercially
that would
too,
be a big change. Pardon?
commercially.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly. On
because
the farm.
that's gonna say the neonics, okay, they cut down some of it here in Massachusetts, but there's still a lot out there, and that's the seeds and the plants, you know, that are the seedlings that are sold. As far as I
Exactly.
know, a lot of the seedlings have neonics,
Yeah,
probably because of the seeds.
yeah, yeah,
I think, and it's not just the neonics. I mean, there's other chemicals and there's other things that people think are okay that aren't. I mean, I think,
right.
you know, Janet and Isabel were talking before about kind of the whole picture
Sure.
of balance that, you know, people do things that they think is okay.
Yeah.
And it's sort of not okay.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
sometimes you have to make tough choices too.
Yeah. Well, good. Well,
The Pollinator Week is the 17th through the 23rd.
That's
okay.
correct. So do we want to do pollinators then and do something with the lightning bugs in July, or just put that as part of pollinator week? I mean, right now, I do not have the time to research lightning bugs
Yeah,
between now and the end of June. Most of June, I am absolutely flat out.
I sort of I don't know how you guys feel. I think the lightning bugs is a problem, but it's kind of outside of our scope, you know? I mean, if I had to choose between solving a problem for pollinators and solving a more generalized problem like lightning bugs, I'd say let's get the pollinators because that's our focus.
That's
You know?
I agree.
Yeah.
I just thought that the reason I mentioned the lightning bugs, because like I said, I had talked to Chris, and apparently I don't know if it's true, but I didn't do more, but I was under the impression that lightning bugs did some pollination, not
don't know.
kind of as a side, but I'm not sure. I need to confirm that and find out the exact things, but that's what started interesting me, and I thought that's what I understood. And
it could be,
sometimes I understand things incorrectly. So
I used to teach a program on fireflies at Drumlin Farm. It's very hard to find them.
right.
I know where to find them, and you find them right after 4th of July, and everybody's gone. And I don't think it's, I dearly love them, but I think I agree with Mark that it's probably not our focus.
Right.
So they're charismatic, and this is one of the things that's good. But the kids these days aren't seeing them because of all the light pollution. So
Well, their numbers are down too, way down.
yeah. Well, they're having trouble mating because of the light pollution, and all there's just been a decrease in insects in general because of all the poisons. So I'm gonna have to get off pretty soon.
Yeah.
So I was wondering what business do we want to take care of? Are we wanting to nail something down for Ag Day, or what is it we're trying to do
No,
here?
I think well, we could nail something down for Ag Day, but I think we also could do this in July or but get thinking about it. I think we've got some good thoughts here on ways we can broaden our focus in Ag Day.
Yeah, things are just sprouting up. I haven't even thought about harvesting yet. I'm still trying to get some things in the ground. And
my tomatoes are still in milk jugs. Growing out of the top of the jugs.
Yeah.
I can't tell you, Isabel, how excited I was when I saw the lupins finally like poke through the ground.
Yeah.
Gotta go check on them again. But I was excited like a little kid on Christmas Day. I mean, I didn't think I'd be that excited, but I really was.
Oh, cool.
So, and quite a few people here are very excited about their plants. And most of them, it was interesting. I didn't have any idea that most of them had no idea, you know, you know how the first two little leaves that come out of the seed until it gets to the real leaves. Most people had no idea.
Those
you
are
know,
called, they're the seed,
the cotyledons,
yeah, the cotyledons, and
Mm-hmm.
most of the plants we plant are dicotyledons. They have two of
Right.
them, like a peanut,
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
and then monocots are all the grasses and things like that,
yeah,
Yeah.
lilies, things like
yeah.
that.
But I mean, I was surprised at how few people wanted to, you know, they didn't realize they need to wait till the leaves start coming.
Well, I think we could also do more with leave the leaves.
Yep.
I think
Okay.
you know, leaving the leaves doesn't mean shredding them.
Yeah,
I think that's a
So
really good point. And doing that at Ag Days, the timing is perfect.
Yeah, the fall cleanup stuff is probably good to do then.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, right now everybody's kind of doing the very last whatever. People are graduating. Garlic
Yeah.
mustard season is here. It's
Yep.
just kind of busy right now.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if we're kind of done, I'm gonna
Yeah.
skedaddle on.
And yeah, thanks for sharing the Friday. I am not available. My big go away weekend for the year is this weekend, so I will not be home Friday for the weekend.
All righty.
Have a
Okay.
good weekend.
Yep.
Yeah,
All
thanks,
Thanks all for
everybody.
coming.
Take
Thanks.
care. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.